Hi everyone, Bifties here, welcome to my Exile. So I wanted to recap and give you my reaction to the patch reveal last night. I got in really late, so I watched it later than everybody else, and I didn't really have time to do a video last night, so I thought I'll sleep on it, and then I will give you my reaction having been able to process it all. And I don't think that my opinion has changed from last night to this morning, and I gotta say, I'm really excited by it. I've been quite critical about the last reveal. I thought I did a video about it. I'll put it in the description if you've got any interest at all. But I was very critical that I did not feel like the patch was aimed at me at all. There were things they covered in the last patch, or in the last reveal, that I didn't even understand what they were talking about. So it really felt like it wasn't for me. And I've done other videos where I've talked about not liking Endgame and possibly considering myself to be a campaigner. I actually prefer the campaign to the Endgame, though I would say that it now appears that I prefer the current state of the campaign to the current state of Endgame. And what they did last night with all of the reveals felt like it was specifically aimed at me. It's as if they heard me. Now, I don't believe for one second they saw any of my videos. They might have seen a thumbnail if they'd ever looked for PoE2 stuff, which I'm sure they did. But they're not going to have listened to me. But it just suggests to me that it wasn't just how I felt, it was how many of you felt. And a lot of the comments that I've received were either strongly disagreeing or strongly agreeing with me. So thank you very much for that. So let's get into what they were talking about last night. Now, we had the introduction, and that's all fine, and they announced Dawn of the Hunt. And what I was wondering, so I'll jump straight to the very end of their reveal, I was wondering if this needed to be done as a reset and as a new season. And what they did say is that no, it doesn't, but that they recommend that you restart. Now, I will be restarting, and I'm quite excited by what they revealed because I think it gives me quite a lot of gameplay just in this 0.2.0 patch, which I'm really excited for. They talked about the Twitch drops, which isn't something that I care about at all. If that's really important, or if there's something I'm missing there, then please put it in the comments, and I'll start doing that next time. And then they talked about a deep dive into the Dawn of the Hunt update, and there's going to be a new class, which I think is really exciting. There's going to be 5 new Ascendancy classes and an expansion on the character system. Well, the new class we now know is the Huntress. I think we kind of knew that, though I was a little bit surprised because I thought that the Druid was maybe coming with this patch. Now, maybe I thought that the Huntress could have been the alternative Druid build, but I think that the Druid and the Cleric or the Templar is probably going to be the class that we're missing. But when I thought about it, it's like, well, I'm excited because we're going to get a whole new section of the passive tree to experience in a later patch, or in a later season. So we've got the Huntress. That seems pretty fun. I was excited because it looks like she can have a pet. You can actually get a minion of sorts. So I like the Witch. The Witch is one of my favourites. So that seems quite fun to get the pet. You've also got a mount that you can, I think it's you summon the mount and that you can get on and you can still fight from that. You can still throw your spear, and they did say that you can still shoot arrows with your bow. So obviously, again, confirming that it is the alternative build for the Ranger passive section, which is nice because I'm a bit of a mercenary, not expert, addict, I would say. I really like the crossbow, I really like the mercenary, and I have been trying out a warrior build and a ranger build with crossbow, because obviously you can get to the mercenary section as well. So that seems to be my area of the passive tree that I enjoy. I've still struggled to get into the monk. I'm not really big on the warrior, though with a crossbow it's a bit more fun. And surprisingly, I don't like the mage, which is weird because normally that would be my go-to, but I do like the witch, which is obviously at the very top of the passive tree. So Huntress looks to be really good. I'm excited for that. I will be playing that from next Friday when it launches, 7 p.m. UK time on the 4th of April. So that's really good. Got a week to go. I'm looking forward to that. There's a countdown on the PoE2 site. I nearly had that in the background, but I really just wanted to get to doing my reactions. So Huntress looks really good. They talk about there being 5 new Ascendancy classes, but I think that's 2 of those are for the Huntress, so you're really only getting 3 others, and that's 1 for the warrior, 1 for the witch, and 1 for the mercenary. So again, that's really good fun for me. I didn't pay too much attention to the details of the new mercenary Ascendancy, because I absolutely know without a doubt that I'll be playing that. So I'll start a new season. Huntress will be the first class I play. Mercenary will probably be the 3rd class that I play, because I think I know it the best, but the one in the middle will be the new lich for the witch, a witch lich. So I'm really excited for that. That's going to be really good, and they've now fixed the skill that allows you to actually make monsters your pets, which is something that I really wanted. I was disappointed when that didn't come out at launch, but now I'm excited to sort of get things slowly, because that's enough for me. I mean, that's going to be 3 classes, maybe 4 Ascendancies if I do both Huntress, that I can take through to Endgame. And where I've talked about being more of a campaigner to an endgamer, I am actually now quite excited at the prospect of Endgame. And while I was watching the reveal last night, what I thought of was that I think that the Endgame might be perfect for co-op. And I wanted couch co-op. I enjoyed couch co-op when it launched, but the problem is that couch co-op doesn't currently work for multiple accounts. So my mate can't come round and log into his account and play on the same screen. So we're waiting for that. We're hoping for that. It's not coming in this patch, but online co-op, or if he brings his laptop round, then we can run 2 machines and still be in the same room. But Endgame looks to me to be a big improvement with this patch. It felt aimless for me, and it doesn't now. So that's really good. I'll get to that in a bit. And it really made me think of co-op. So I think we're going to both try the Huntress at launch, and then I'll probably look to take a mercenary and a witch through to Endgame, because what I didn't realise till I got there eventually and did some Endgame in the last month or so, is that Endgame is shared across all of your classes. So therefore, if I can get those 3 through, that will probably be enough for me to experience Endgame this season. So your new Ascendancies, like I said, are for the Huntress. There's 2 of them, and then you've got the Warrior, the Witch, and the Mercenary. And I think that's excellent, and I'm really excited for that. Spoken about the Huntress, so that's all pretty good. Detailed abilities of the Huntress include the whirling slash, a parry, a disengage, and various spear skills. Now, the whirling slash looked quite interesting when you mixed it with certain elements. So if you were doing it on top of fire, you could actually get fire to then spread out in these whirlwinds, and that looked kind of cool. I don't know if it's my sort, but they did talk quite a bit about the difficulty for them of building a range melee hybrid, and I like the thought of that. Okay, so I get a new class, I get a new way of playing, and I get a new ascendancy for the 2 classes that I like the most. So again, like I said, really excited about it. This felt like, wow, they've almost targeted me. The things I complained about, I just get more. Now, I would have liked more axe because I'd like more campaign. There isn't going to be any new acts, but they did show that there is going to be some changes to the current campaign. So that's really exciting. So then they talked about the Huntress Ascendancies. I won't go into those too much. I suggest looking those up. It's really worth watching the reveal, and I'll put a link in the description for that. But you're going to have to play around with it. They've got Ritualist, and they've got the, it says Amazon, but I think it's the, I don't think that's quite right. But they look okay. I'm not big on Ascendancies, to be honest. Where I've played the Mercenaries so much, I've got the Witch Hunter and the Gemling Legionnaire. They seem to maybe not change it too much for me, but maybe that's not because I haven't gone too far into Endgame, so maybe that's something there. But that looks exciting. But the skills, like I said, that I'm really interested in are the Raised Spectre and the Summon Rower. I think the Summon Rower is actually bringing in the pet that you can get from a monster, and now Raised Spectre is also. The spirit cost of the good monsters seem to be particularly high to me. So if you're playing a witch in the new season, especially if you're doing the Lich, obviously, it looks like you're going to need a lot of spirit. So it really is a spirit build. I understand how to do the minion build within the passive tree, but it looks like you're going to need a lot of spirit. I don't currently use trade. I'm not a fan of trade. I don't like the idea of trade. I did a video recently about how it almost seemed a little bit like pay to win, because you're manipulating the game in a way to make it easier. But that's maybe the opinion of someone that didn't play PoE 1, so I don't know as much about the game. I'm still learning the game, so playing the game is still sort of fun for me. I don't need to mix it up, but I think many of you are far better at the game than me, and therefore you understand the builds better. You can use a unique better, so I think that's all different. And actually, there's going to be a load new uniques. I think there's 100 new uniques. There's 100 new skill support gems. So that's all really exciting. I'm not so fussed about uniques. Again, I've done a video about those in the past. I don't think they're for campaigners. I don't think they're for new players. I think they're for people that understand the builds properly. But I do have the unique stash tab, so therefore uniques are more about just putting a collection together and then maybe using them in the future. My guess is that in games like this, when the season finishes, then any characters on that season get put onto the main original season, so then that will bring all your uniques together. I don't know how it works with the stash tab or anything, but it's not wasted to collect them, so that should be fun. Crafting and runes have been changed. I know that the new Ascendancy for the warrior has something to do with crafting and can actually upgrade their own weapon, and also they can actually significantly build their own chest armor. The way I understood it, I might be wrong, so again, if I'm wrong, put a comment in the section, but it seems like you would be effectively not wearing any chest armor that you've found or bought, but what you'll do is you'll use the Ascendancy to add in the specific stats for your chest armor, so then you can kind of build it your own way, and that seems quite cool. I didn't like the warrior much. Maybe I can do a crossbow build there and play around with that and learn it, but I think I've got more than enough anyway. They've also changed the runes, so there's going to be different tiers to the runes. They're okay, but I tend to find that I'm using the same rune always. I was always adding physical damage to my crossbows on both of them. Maybe I was using a bit of the resistance ones for armor, but it didn't seem hugely important, whereas the tiers maybe seem to be better now because you'll have higher resistances on the higher tiers. I think you can upgrade them yourself, so that all seems to be good. Then they moved on to the Endgame changes. Now, I haven't done a lot of Endgame, so I don't know a huge amount. It felt very grindy to me, the way it has been, and I discussed in a previous video how it feels like more of a roguelite than an ARPG to me, and I've said before that I need to be led. I like to have a reason to do things, and Endgame really didn't feel like there was any reason to do anything specific. It was just go clear maps, hope for a boss, probably won't get a boss, clear another map. So I didn't like that. Apparently there is now a reason. Doriani's going to give you some sort of direction as to why you're doing it. Even if this patch doesn't change it enough, it seems like there will be a future patch that will change it more and more. It seems like they understand that some people need to be led. So I think that's excellent. That's filled me with hope. It's filled me excitement for the current or for the new patch, and it's filled me with hope for future patches. So that ticks the box for me. Endgame's going to be better and be more suitable for me. Brilliant. The campaign is going to get extras and become more interesting, and we've still got 3 more acts to come. Brilliant. That sounds like that's for me as well. So really excited there. They're reducing the amount of towers in Endgame. I don't understand the towers, or I haven't done enough with towers to make that hugely interesting to me. But the understanding is that they've made this change because maybe it was a bit complicated, it was a bit confusing, and also they talked about how much towers would need to be managed, which I don't even know about. I've not changed, is it tablets within the towers enough to know anything about that. I haven't done any changes. I've only put them in a couple of times. But they've reduced the number, they've increased the range of the towers, so that seems really good. And because it means now that there won't be the overlap, and therefore you get the double or the triple increases, bonuses. They actually now allow the towers to take 3 tablets, so therefore you can upgrade them even more. So that seems less complicated, makes more sense to me, seems to be aimed at good for me, but good for everybody else. I'm assuming that's the case. If you don't agree, then please put a comment in the section, because that'll be interesting to know. But I like that, so that the maps seem better. There's a reason to do it. They're giving us new maps, and there's going to be unique gameplay elements of these maps, so that seems really good. Feral megaliths and fractured lakes seem to be 2 of the specific maps, so that all seems good. Again, I'm now actually excited for Endgame, but I am thinking more for co-op. I think that's probably where I'm going to do most of my Endgame, and if I can't do co-op at the time, then I'll probably go back and get the other classes through to Endgame that I want to be playing. But that all sounds really good. They've also got further crafting systems, so there's an introduction of new crafting options such as recombination and detailed mechanics. I don't know anything about recombination. That sounded really good. I liked that. They actually showed 2 crossbows being combined, and they weren't the same type of crossbow, and they were combined into one new one, and you're hoping for the best of the stats from each one. Obviously, there's a lot of randomness to that, so you can't really guarantee it. But I like that because I would seem to get quite a lot of gear, and I didn't really have much to do with it. So this sounds good. I'm guessing a lot of you know about it because it probably comes from PoE 1, which I didn't play. So that all sounds good. And then they got to the closing remarks, which was just to confirm that there's new supporter packs. So that's fine. I'm on my 2nd or 3rd already. I don't think I'm going to need any more at the moment, and I'm still not working. So I don't think I'm going to be buying any more, but that's great. So then they can be giving everybody else stuff that wants that. And then it's just a thanks to the community for all of the engagement and participating. Well, I'm really excited. I don't know what you all think. Please drop me a comment. It'd be really interesting to hear. This is my take. I think most of the takes out there are probably from seasoned end gamers. I am not that. I am new to YouTube. I'm new to GGG, and I'm new to the PoE universe with 2. I didn't play 1. But I didn't like Endgame very much. I'm now excited for it. I wasn't liking the grind of it, like I've said. So this really feels like this was a patch for me. This was like I was heard, that I was seen, that they care about. I describe myself as a casual gamer. It may actually be more that I'm a campaigner, but it seems like they actually do care about casual gamers and campaigners. In the past, maybe it seemed like they were all about Endgame and everybody told me that the game was all about Endgame. Well, I feel like I've been heard, and I feel like this was a patch for me. I haven't watched any other reactions yet. I wanted to put this video out as soon as I got up this morning because I'm wondering if other people think differently to me. But last night, as soon as I watched it, I was excited. I was excited the whole way through. There was nothing I thought was bad. I would have liked, like I said, the couch co-op multiple accounts to be added, and I would have quite liked the druid, but I don't really care about that. That's all fine. I would have also liked acts 4 to 6. That would have been great, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm fine with that. I don't need to worry. So that's all really good. So I'm a really positive, happy camper with regards to this new patch, and I'd really like to know what you all think. So thank you very much for watching. Sorry it's a bit of a long video, one of my longest, so I'm sorry about that, but thanks for watching. I'm Bifties, this is The Cave. Welcome to my Exile. See you all next time.